It's time for Mountain Crest High School Sports, a presentation of 107.7 KLZX and CashValleyDaily.com. Made possible by the support of our sponsors, DD Auto and Salvage, Adams Wealth Advisors, Mountain Crest Booster Club, State Farm Agent Lana Powell, Cache Valley Daily, Young Toyota and Young Honda, Napa Auto Parts, Les Olson IT, The Logo Shop, and Planet Fitness. Now, it's time for the Mountain Crest Mustangs on 107.7 KLZX.
Hello and welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to Hiram, Utah. It is Mountain Crest basketball coming to you live on 107.7 KLZX and on CashValleyDaily.com. I am Cody Olson, your voice of the Mountain Crest Mustangs, joined here by my associate, my colleague, my friend in arms, Coach John Olson. Hey, yes. How's it going?
Excellent. How about those Aggies?
How about them Aggies?
Going down to San Diego State. San Diego's not a state, by the way. And beating them on their home court for the first time. Aggies have never beat San Diego on their home court. So good job, Aggies.
Impressive win. They pulled it out in the end.
They did. They didn't lead till the final, but
they
that's
literally
all that
only
matters.
led 3 seconds in that game, and it was the 3 seconds that matter most.
The last 3 seconds, yep.
So congratulations to the Aggies, who now go ahead and pull in back-to-back wins against a very good St. Mary's team.
Yes.
And now a very, very good, we know what San Diego State is.
Yeah.
Incredible. I'd be excited. You can't, now you got to scrounge up the tickets for the rematch in the Spectrum later on in the spring.
Oh,
that
would be crazy.
So congratulations to the Aggies as they're going to go ahead and go to 12-1 on the season. So good for the Aggies.
That's awesome.
Talking about another team that's really good and has a great record, it's going to be the visiting Preston Indians as they come in here tonight at 8-1. This is going to be a huge test for the Mustangs. If you're thinking that this is a cupcake type of game, or you schedule somebody from out of state, Let me introduce you to the powerhouse known as the Preston Indians. Currently at 8-1, come back from the holiday break. The Preston Indians only lost one game, and that was to the 6A powerhouse team in Timberline in their own tournament that they hosted over the holiday break.
And I believe that was in overtime that they ended up losing that. By basically 1 point.
They did lose by 1 point. I don't know if it was in overtime.
Yeah, it was in overtime.
Was it in overtime? Yeah.
With one overtime, yep.
Yeah, Alex Coe, an all-state guard from Timberline, drained a 25-foot three-pointer with 3 seconds remaining in regulation to, again, force overtime. Good thing you're here, because I wouldn't have known that.
Yes.
And Timberline went on to edge Preston 58-57 in the final of the Preston Indian Classic last Saturday afternoon. So that is the last, taste in the mouth that the Indians have had. Up until that point, they've been blowing people out of the water, putting up 90 points, 80 points. Fantastic showing by the Indians. We'll get into the nitty-gritty and who we'll be looking out for the Indians. But needless to say, you might relate with them. As much as you dislike the RPI in the state of Utah, the Preston Indians have been at the mercy of Boise forever.
Right.
The Preston Indians, just for a little bit of history lesson to all of you Mountain Crest fans who might not know, Preston has been regulated to play in a 3-person district in the state of Idaho, and they share it with Pocatello, the Pocatello Thunder, who is also perennial powerhouse in the state of Idaho. So Preston and Pocatello always battle each other.
Because only one of them goes to the state.
Only one gets a state qualifying. Yeah, they only get one bid. It's awful.
That is terrible. And when you look at the way Utah does it, if you have a pulse, you make it to the playoffs.
Right.
That's basically what it is.
And Boise says, no, let's put these two powerhouses in the corner of the state, away from all of us. We'll let them battle it out. It does not matter. It's wild. I talked to Dan Hubbard, the voice of the Preston Indians.
Yeah.
Their record could mean diddly squat. They could go, 0-17, but you have to win your 3 games against the Thunder, or you don't get to do anything else for the rest of the season. It's your 2 regular season games that will determine what your seeding is and if you get to host in the district tournament.
Right.
And if you lose, you're done.
You're done. Yep.
No playoffs for you.
Yeah, isn't that is
awful.
insane to me.
It's a bad thing.
That is a terrible terrible system that Idaho has.
Absolutely. And to tap it all off with the cherry on top, I think that the Boise districts get something like 6 automatic qualifiers.
Yeah,
and
they do.
But here I am. Here I am.
Yeah.
So you can relate to them. They stick it to Preston.
They do stick it to Preston. Yep, and when they have got in the tournament, they have basically won it.
Yes, they have,
which is amazing. But yeah, that would really stink if they were like, oh hey, you're in a 3 region with the other really great team, and only one of you gets to go to state. That's terrible.
Yeah, it's terrible. Whereas the fifth ranked so-and-so private school in the Boise school district gets an automatic
bid. Yeah.
So pick
terrible.
up pitchforks and torches. I'm in it for that.
I will take the sacrificing of the chickens and reading the stars in the RPI for Utah, the deductions for being in the north, whatever, over that system.
Fair enough.
Day, so
fair enough. We'll talk more about the Preston Indians. We're about 13 minutes away from tip-off. For the Mountain Crest Mustangs, they come into this matchup 4-7. They come off of a tough loss, Coach, to a Roy team that they thought, they felt pretty confident going into that. Roy ends up beating them 50-40 by double digits.
Yeah,
and it's a kind of a tough pill to swallow for the Mustangs, trying to get into a groove in the holiday break right now.
Yeah, they really have been struggling. The last 3 games, they did it, they beat Logan. Then they had a tough game versus a very talented Green Canyon team. And then to go down and lose to Roy, which, Roy has been struggling themselves. It's been a struggle. Mountain Crest in the last 3 games is only averaging 42 points a game, and that's very low for even them. And I think part of it, at least when you look at it, is, they lost Dimitrikov for a long time, and then I noticed immediately as soon as he came back, he's a great player. They're having trouble figuring out how he fits in the system again. They changed it so much as other players grew through his downtime. So now it's just one of those things where you got to come back. You got to try and reintegrate everybody. But there's been players that have been streaky, and so they've got to find their identity. The biggest thing is I think Mountain Crest has lost their identity, and they need to find that.
Finding identity is going to be a key for the Mustangs tonight. Again, bringing back Dimitrikov. Dimitrikov, you're leaders in terms of points for the Mustangs as of this point in the season. Dimitrikov averaging about 12 points per game. Cooper, 12 points per game, mostly from beyond the arc. That's where Cooper's game is. And then Parker Andrus, the Energizer Bunny, averaging just over 10 points a game. Those 3 have a lot of a mantle when it comes to the success of this team. And when they come up a little bit cold, it feels like the team kind of gets stuck in tar a little bit. And so for the Mustangs, you're hopeful to see those 3 trying to come out, see some others come out. Martinson has been a cog for good shots and energy at times, but it's really tonight about finding your identity, and you're going to have to do it against a very tough Preston squad. This Preston team, they have a very short rotation. You're going to see 7 kids on the floor. It's a 7-man rotation by head coach Tyler Jones, entering his 16th year with the Preston Indians. Has amassed a 295-97 record.
Yeah.
He's
done an amazing
stuff.
Job up there.
He's going to get a statue up there in Preston once he's done.
Yes, he is.
Absolutely fantastic. And the Mustangs are going to go up against a Preston team who will run. And, we talked a little bit about maybe sometimes that's even best for the Mustangs to match energy with energy. It's when they slow down is when a couple shots don't fall. You overthink things. It's almost when the Mustangs don't think is when they're better at basketball.
Right. It's when it's more fluid and it's more of muscle memory than regular memory. It's interesting for sure. So, and it'll be interesting to see with both of these teams that love to run what's going to happen.
Head-to-head for the Indians and Mountain Crest as of this point. They first met in basketball in 2016, have met each season since the 2020 season. Preston has been giving battle in each game and have gone on to win all 7 games against the Mustangs. This is a 7-game winning streak held by the Preston Indians against the Mountain Crest Mustangs dating back to 2016. And they've been, I mean, quite frankly, none of them have been close except the 2022 season. A team that Mountain Crest was really, really good. Preston still beat them 54-52. So Mountain Crest trying to get some bragging rights back on this side of the border against a really good Preston team.
They are, and Preston has been a basketball powerhouse for quite a while, since Jones showed up, basically, which is going on, how many years? I think that you said, like, nearly...
This is his 16th year.
16th year, and he really has it down pat. So, you know, and again, Mountain Crest is still trying to find their identity here. So it's going to be interesting how this game plays out.
Well, we'll be interested to talk to you a little bit more about the individuals that you'll see in this game. Preston will come back with a team that is very, experienced, whereas Mountain Crest, on the other hand, trying to get some more experience, quickly as they work through this. We'll go ahead, take a quick break, come back to you for the rest of our pregame show here on 107.7 KLZX on the Cache Valley Daily. Our pregame show today brought to you in part by our friends at the Cater Shop. The Cater Shop will make you look good in anything. Come on down, find some great deals, and ask a little bit about the games around the valley. The Cater Shop. We'll come back right after this.
Suit up, feel good. Custom tailored clothing for him and her. The Cater Shop, because how you look is the first message you deliver.
Great Basin Graphics has quality screen printing, detailed embroidery, and award-winning graphic designers. The right look, the right design, the perfect fit. Get noticed with GBG. Get your order in today for spring products. Google Great Basin Graphics for screen printing and embroidery. 966 West 400 North in Logan.
I have a deal for you. I'll turn the cable back on when you get my kitchen floor finished.
How do I do that in time to watch my team win?
Use the expert help at Castalite. For all your brick, block, rock, paver, and tile needs, Castalite.com.
The Mountain Crest Booster Club encourages you to support the sponsors that support the Mustangs. Scabelin Roofing, Pool Orthodontics, Reed's Pharmacy, Airbound Gymnastics, Blue Water Construction, Mitco Landscaping, and Ridley's Market. To join the Mountain Crest Booster Club, contact the Mountain Crest Athletic Department and support the sponsors that support the Mustangs.
At Planet Fitness, you'll get energy without the judgment.
Hi, can you help me with this? This is better.
Join the judgment-free zone today for $15 a month. Planet Fitness. Big fitness energy for all.
DD Auto and Salvage is going to pay you the most for junk vehicles. Get rid of your junk vehicles today. Pickup is available. DD Auto and Salvage in Logan. Call 787-1204. That's 787-1204 today. See store for details.
Searching for copiers and printers? Les Olson IT has what you need. Find reliable HP printers, award-winning Sharp copiers, and high-end Ricoh graphic systems.
Les Olson IT.
When your car isn't working right, you just need someone who can help make your life a little easier. Cache Valley Auto Care can. Hear what people are saying online.
They'll always take the time to help you understand what they're doing to your car and go above and beyond to solve your issue.
Cache Valley Auto Care.
When a client walks into the office, I want them to feel like they have a team that is full-time working for them.
We really start from the ground up, setting our goals, understanding your situation, and then building the plan to maximize that quality of life.
Visit Adams Wealth Advisors.
Find the parts and the oil you need to keep your car and equipment running its best at your locally owned Napa Auto Parts. All the best brand names. And when you need professional help, Napa can recommend a dozen Napa Car Care Centers with ASE certified technicians.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here to Hiram, Utah. More basketball action as we continue on through the 2024-2025 season for the Mountain Crest Mustangs. Coming in to visit the Mustangs tonight across the border, perennial powerhouse in the state of Idaho. The Preston Indians have come to town, and they've come with with bad intentions. They want to come. I know that talking with Dan Hubbard, the voice of the Preston Indians, that Preston takes great pride in coming down. Preston, I'll be candid in saying that they don't feel like they get, good coverage in the Valley.
Yeah.
And they love to come in and stick it to Utah teams and go back home and say, oh, you should probably spend some more time talking about us than some other teams down south. And frankly so. They're 8-1, and they're going to be having some stellar kids come out, returning seniors, Jake Schumann, Reggie Larson, and Cruz Harris, all of which are averaging above 15 points per game
they are.
for the Indians. Fun fact also, something that Mountain Crest is probably going to have to learn tonight and deal with. 4 of the 5 starting 5 for the Preston Indians, 6'3", and taller.
And taller.
And can run and dunk. This is going to be a fun one for the Mustangs. And I'll turn it over to you, Coach. What does Mountain Crest have to do to keep pace with a team like Preston tonight?
Well, the one thing that Mountain Crest can do, if they need to, is they have the speed. They've got. We talk a lot about that speed, and they've really got to use that speed defensively out here to put a clamp down on a Preston team that can really spread the ball around. That makes it tough. So defensively, normally when Mountain Crest plays an opponent and they can say, okay, this is the big guy that we got to stop. You can put Andrus on him, and Andrus does a great job of slowing him down. But where you've got, several kids in double digits, 2 that are 15 plus, it's really going to need a step up from all of Mountain Crest players to have a great defensive game. On the other side of the ball, we've seen Mountain Crest struggle, especially lately shooting. So they've got to really shoot the ball well and try and get out and use that perimeter shooting, which they can do, and get hot doing that. If they can do that, if they can play fast against Preston's offense, then they're going to keep this a close game, and that's what they've got to do. They've got to keep a close game. They cannot fall into a hole and try and dig themselves out versus Preston.
Yeah, one aspect that if there was a chink in the armor of Preston's basketball program, it is that outside shooting.
Yeah.
If you can get some shots to fall from outside, it does spread Preston out. It's pretty intimidating going in among the trees, just watching film on Preston. It's going to have to be a night that you're going to have to rely upon Trey Cooper and Tayton Martinson to really be able to shoot with confidence, and then hopefully as a secondary feature and symptom of that, you can free up inside. Worthy to note tonight, we were watching warm-ups, and I have not seen Niko Dimitrikov on the floor.
And we because of weather and some other technical issues, we were not able to fill in on that game in Roy, and so I'm wondering if something has happened there. Again, I was unable to grab Coach before the game and get caught up. So, yeah, we'll find out later on, hopefully, and see what we can find out about that.
As we get ready for the national anthem, another interesting thing as I quickly glance inside the huddle for Mountain Crest, different kids pulling off their warm-up jerseys to start the game. I see Braden Larson, Kai Passy, along with Mason Smith and others taking off their shirts. So we'll get you the starting lineups right after this. We'll take a quick break, step aside. A big shout-out and thank you to Castelite for our coverage of the pregame show and throughout the broadcast today on CashValleyDaily.com. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Suit up, feel good. Custom tailored clothing for him and her. The Cater Shop, because how you look is the first message you deliver.
Great Basin Graphics has quality screen printing, detailed embroidery, and award-winning graphic designers. The right look, the right design, the perfect fit. Get noticed with GBG. Get your order in today for spring products. Google Great Basin Graphics for screen printing and embroidery. 966 West 400 North in Logan.
I have a deal for you. I'll turn the cable back on when you get my kitchen floor finished.
How do I do that in time to watch my team win?
Use the expert help at Castelite. For all your brick, block, rock, paver, and tile needs, Castelite.com.
The Mountain Crest Booster Club encourages you to support the sponsors that support the Mustangs. Scaveland Roofing, Pool Orthodontics, Reed's Pharmacy, Airbound Gymnastics, Blue Water Construction, Midco Landscaping, and Ridley's Market. To join the Mountain Crest Booster Club, contact the Mountain Crest Athletic Department and support the sponsors that support the Mustangs.
At Planet Fitness, you'll get energy without the judgment.
Hi, can you help me with this? This is better.
Join the judgment-free zone today for $15 a month. Planet Fitness. Big fitness energy for all.
DD Auto and Salvage is going to pay you the most for junk vehicles. Get rid of your junk vehicles today. Pickup is available. DD Auto and Salvage in Logan. Call 787-1204. That's 787-1204 today. See store for details.
Welcome back here to our broadcast here in Hiram, Utah. We get ready for the starting lineups. Your starting lineups tonight, as we get ready for the Preston Indians. Your likely starting five: Kaysen Bryce, number 23. Number 4, Cruz Harris.
Number 5,
Jake Schumann, Reggie Larson, and Tripton Beckstead. That's your starting 5 for Preston. Cale Muir getting the start tonight for the Mustangs, along with Mason Smith. Rounding out the rest of the starting 5, Braden Larson, Easton Pugmire, and
number 12,
Kai Passy. So we have a switch up in the starting 5.
Yes.
And looks like we got an update here. Coach, did you get an update at all?
I did not. No, I was trying to find out what was going on with everything. Unable to do that. I will, after the game, try and get with Coach Smith and get an interview and talk to him about it.
So we do have a different starting lineup than what we normally see.
Yeah.
Let me go ahead. We apologize as our main camera seems to be a little bit out. We'll go ahead and try and get that back for you. But Coach, as we get ready for this game, a different lineup. It could, possibly stir something different in the Mustangs. You go back to the well, you see something different. We're not seeing the typical starting lineup that we normally do for the Mustangs in this game.
No, I think, honestly, we've only got one starter that started the season out there right now. And it could be the fact that, Coach is saying, hey, you know what, give me the people who want to play or something. Who knows? I just don't know.
Could be any number of things right now.
Could be any number of things. It would be hard for me to guess what is going on right now. You miss one game, and now you're kind of in the back pocket.
Yeah,
so I apologize to everybody that I don't know what's going on.
All right, it is Pugmire out on the floor, set to tip off against Larson. Larson tips it backwards for Muir. It will be a win on the tip for the Mustangs. And they work their way into the front court. Smith on the right side elbow gives it over to Larson on the far side. Muir jacks up a 3 quickly and buries it. Hey, Cale Muir, welcome to the starting lineup and welcome to the score sheet. He hits a huge 3 and the Mustangs start out with a big field goal make. Schumann inside Larson, alley-oop, and it is contested by Pugmire at the rim, a foul. Yeah. Reggie Larson wanted to put Pugmire on a poster, but the contest and defense and challenge elicits the foul. He'll go to the line for 2.
I like the energy. I like him going up and contesting that. That's big for Pugmire, too, because that's one thing that we talked about, his physicality. He needs to be a more physical player, so he's been working on that, doing a great job.
Larson hits the first free throw of 2, his second opportunity at the line, up and good. Larson, a returning starter for the Preston Indians, 1 of 3 for this team. Mountain Crest going to quickly go in transition, turnaround 3-point shot off the front of the rim, no good. Rebounded back to the Indians by Larson, who rips it down, crosses the half-court line, lost the handle, and comes back to it. And the Indians, wearing their all-black uniforms with blue trim, they look nice. And it makes a really good contrast to the Mountain Crest orange and white as drop-stepping underneath as Cruz Harris gets under his defender and gets an easy bucket on the right side block. Here comes the trap on the inside. Muir throws it away. Larson grabs it in the backcourt. And there is that athletic defense of Preston causing some issues.
Yep, and it's a half-court press, but they're being very aggressive with it.
Inbounding from the far side, Bryce will find his man. Point guard Jake Schumann working to the right side, back up to the top. Everybody leaves inside, up and under reverse for Harris, who was left all alone underneath. Coach Smith goes and looks at his bench and says, what was that? Larson weaving his way through, finds Passy underneath, and his push shot and the easy bunny will not go. Rebounded back by the Indians. Near side, Schumann running the floor inside the key, kicking it back out to the near. Long three, Beckstead holds the pose, won't go. Rebounded and saved by Cruz Harris. He'll bounce it off of the knee of Larson, out of bounds. It will stay with the Indians.
And you can see the hustle by both teams. Really fast, both of them.
Indians want to go out. They thrive off of the quick transition. Here's the inside feed underneath Schumann. Back out. Bad pass. Scooped up off the shoelaces. And an inside attack. No good by Beckstead. Larson with the rebound. And here comes the Mountain Crest Mustangs trying to get into the half-court offense. Everybody leaves Smith inside, and he double pumps the layup and misses it. Tipped out of bounds by the Mustangs.
They had a lot of body on him, too. He did double pump it, which he should not have done. He did get a lot of body on that, going up.
A little bit of contact, and it's been my bane this
know.
Whole season.
Just go up with the ball. Go strong.
There you go. Right side Schumann on the outside perimeter will go up to the top. Again, at the top of the key, Larson. Goes one-on-ones against Larson. Larson versus Larson. That's the matchup on the floor. One in white, one in black. Driving is Harris inside. Pumps, puts it up underneath the basket. Got Passy to bite. And the Indians on an 8-0 run after the quick three-point shot by Muir. Into the dead corner, and the Mustangs will travel with it. Shuffling the feet is Larson, and now you got to try and figure out that press, and that's what Coach Smith is going to do as he takes a timeout on the floor. Yeah, Coach wants to talk about it, wants to see what's going on with that press and figure it out. It's a full timeout. 30-second 30-second timeout. Yeah, we'll keep it here. So, you know, what are you seeing quickly here from you know, the early goings of this? We're both seeing athleticism and hustle. The Indians took a shot in the mouth on the first shot of the game, but have come back quickly with an 8-0 run. Right, they have. And Mountain Crest has got to calm down a little bit. I know that, you know, one thing that I am impressed is that they're not backing down. They're still trying to run that fast offense, which is really what they need to do if they want to stay in this kind of like a race. This is going to feel more like a race than a basketball game. All right, the Indians on the near side of the court will inbound. Schumann will get it to Bryce and then back into his own hands as he crosses the timeline from right to left. He'll sprint to the far side corner, go up to the top. Larson steals it. Looking like a free safety out there. He'll get the layup and good. Running the floor. And that was premeditated. That's what Larson gives you a lot. He's a very athletic kid, and he's going to be able to get, you know, to where he needs to fast. Larson inside feed. Muir pokes it out from behind around Schumann, and the Mustangs get the steal. Pugmire with a man on his hip. Ball goes off of his foot, and it will stay with the Mustangs, as they're going to say that Harris is the one that punched it out of bounds. Harris punched it out. All right, Mustangs will inbound. High toss as Larson skies up in the air over the top of Schumann. Muir, jab step, back to the top for Passy as the Mustangs poke and prod from beyond the perimeter. Larson drives the baseline, goes up underneath. The reverse layup, not strong enough, and is rebounded back by Harris. Good attack by Braden Larson. No dice, though. There's a steal inside by Passy. Got his hands in the cookie jar, and Schumann lost it. That's back-to-back turnovers by Schumann, as the Mustangs will run the floor once again. So back-to-back turnovers. Mustangs have a chance now within one possession. Passy battling his way, bumping his way inside. Backdoor cut. Smith has to pull it off of his shoelaces. Drives the baseline again. Tries to get a little dream shake in there. Backdoor cut by Pugmire. Won't go. That was a bunny, and it just bounced off the back rim. That's 2 or 3 that Mountain Crest really should have had. Points-wise. Bryce inside, lost his feet. How did he not get away with it? I got away with the travel there underneath. There you go. He looked like he picked up his own dribble, and everybody in the stands mimics, you know, the call. That might have, could have, should have would have been. Pugmire has it ripped away above his head. Another turnover by the Mustangs inside as Bryce jacks up a 3 from the left side wing. Hits it. Wow, he had a lot of height on that jump. That is something that I know for sure that head coach Tyler Jones teaches kids even in Little League. in the Preston area is that high release. There is Pugmire through contact and in. Great attack by Pugmire, and even in the small sample size that we've seen Easton, he's gone from a little bit more of a timid sophomore to now attacking with purpose.
Yes, he's got a lot more confidence, which you really need filling in underneath like that.
Now Easton Pugmire will go to the line. Larson will come out. Tayton Martinson, one of the normal starting 5 we're going to see into the game. Pugmire holds the form, and it gets the friendly roll in. 13-8. Preston Indians lead with 3:20 left in the first quarter, and I apologize if that's the first score update. It feels like we've been going so fast.
Yeah, we have been going really fast.
13-8, leading the Indians. Passy, up and under move by Harris. That's a stellar, upperclassman move by Harris.
It really is.
Gets the attack to go. 15-8. Smith. High toss. Pugmire gets it underneath. Finds Martinson, who lost the basketball, tries to kick it back out. Ball up for grabs. Kicked around once, twice. Indians on a run. One-on-one opportunity. Passy puts his arms up, tries to contest. It will go out of bounds off the miss. Schumann, the last one to touch it for the Indians.
Not a bad little run by Mountain Crest. Again, still down by 6 points, but they're not letting it. They're still flowing, you know what I mean, if that makes sense.
Preston's going to come out with the 1-3-1 press, so you're going to have to look out for that dead corner. Dribbling out of it is Smith, and now he's in trouble. Bounce pass underneath. Muir has a lane, pulls it back out. Smith at the top had the look, penetrates, drives, reverse, right hand, won't go. Couple instances for Mountain Crest to get some points inside, have not been able to do it. Here's Harris. Left alone again on the cross-court. Key pass from Schumann, and he knocks it down and in. And we don't get our score total tonight. There's blanks on the board.
Blanks on the board. I didn't realize that.
Wraparound pass, Pugmire to Passy, and they're able to figure out how to break that press in that quick sequence, the Mustangs, and they're down by 7, 17-10. Schumann getting a screen from Harris at the top, pulling it back, thought about the 3. Instead, Larson gets it, spinning off inside the key, up and under, blocked from behind by Martinson. Here's Smith going the length of the court, pumps, up and under move, yes.
Good shot by Smith, good steal by Mountain Crest.
Here we go. Mountain Crest pulling together a couple different instances, and the starting 5 tonight have come out aggressive in this game.
They really have.
Feeling like they belong out there, absolutely. Get the dribble handoff. Harris, Larson, back to Harris, drives inside. Harris gets up and under again. And the foul on Passy.
That looked clean to me, but
tough one for Passy as he felt like he had the positioning. Our referees disagree, and Harris is going to go to the line for 2 free throws.
Yeah, looked like he had that one clean, but it's all right. I like the defense. I like being aggressive on D.
It's the second team foul on Mountain Crest as Harris goes and bricks the free throw high off the back iron and out. It will not go. And we get some substitutions as Parker Galloway comes into the game for the Indians. Passy's going to come out, and into the game for the Mustangs is Corbin Stewart, the junior forward. Second shot for Harris is down and in, and so there's obviously a story tonight that we were not in the know about for the Mustangs. A bad pass inside, stolen away by Bryce. Here's the alley-oop layup from Schumann, or rather from Larson to Schumann, and they connect. 8-point lead for the Indians after the steal at midcourt. Smith picks it up. Martinson, no hesitation 3, and he was a little bit behind the 3-point line, ends up being short on that shot. Indians take the rebound. Harris, one-on-one versus Martinson. Backs down his man, spins, kick back out. Larson for 3, yes. Senior Larson, and that inside-out play has worked well for the Indians all year long, and Mountain Crest is going to have to try and figure it out. Muir in the dead corner, cross-court pass to Martinson on the opposite side. Galloway was underneath, Stewart calling for it. Indians coming way out beyond the perimeter to guard Smith, who works his way out of the half circle. Mustangs are going to kill the clock, try as best as they can to take the air out of the basketball with 7 seconds left in the first quarter. Smith inside, a little contact, ball rolls off the rim, tipped around. Pugmire throws it out, can't get it off in time. Muir will heave it anyway. And the Mustangs come up fruitless on that possession.
And some of the biggest things that's going on, Mountain Crest has had quite a few really good looks underneath and just not hitting them. They're struggling a little bit from underneath there. And then also, of course, that three-man trap at the top has also been causing them a little bit of fits. They've got to fix those two things, and then they can claw their way back in.
All right, we'll go into the second quarter. The end of one. Preston leads by 11, 23-12. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more action here on Cache Valley Daily. Our second quarter brought to you in part by the Mountain Crest Booster Club. Support those who support the Mustangs. We'll be right back after this.
Suit up, feel good. Custom tailored clothing for him and her. The Cater Shop, because how you look is the first message you deliver.
Great Basin Graphics has quality screen printing, detailed embroidery, and award-winning graphic designers. The right look, the right design, the perfect fit. Get noticed with GBG. Get your order in today for spring products. Google Great Basin Graphics for screen printing and embroidery. 966 West 400 North in Logan.
Welcome back after that break. After the end of one, Preston leads 23-12. The Mustangs have not backed down at all to the Indians tonight, but you can tell that, just watching on the floor, it seems like this Preston team is well-oiled and has been playing together for a long time.
Yes.
A team that, head coach Tyler Jones has really, put together to try and push for a state championship. Mustangs are hanging in pretty well, though. Here is Schumann, backdoor cut, inside, blocked at the top by Pugmire. Ball goes out of bounds. Good recovery by the big man and for the Mustangs, and the ball will stay with the Indians on the right side of the court.
Yeah, I like that. He really can get up there and get that block. That's what you need from him right now.
Wraparound pass, Schumann goes over the top of Martinson. The quick pass inside the key, and it toilet bowls around and falls through. 25-12 with 7:30 left in the second quarter. Here is Pugmire with the good attack on the right side of the key. Won't go. Ball up for grabs, and the ball tipped around once, twice, two misses inside. Pugmire has the ball wrap off and bounce off the top of his head. Here's Martinson off balance, and another one will not go.
Just not
for the Mustangs.
Finding the basket. Really struggling to find the basket right now.
Schumann attacks Pugmire. Another block inside. Martinson comes away with it. 2-on-2 opportunity. This is Noah Carden, and his shot won't go. Ball again up for grabs. Thrown out and saved before it hits the score table by Tayton Martinson. So a couple bunnies inside. Mustangs can't get that to go. Carden calls for it at the top of the key, works his way left to Larson beyond the perimeter. Free throw line extended. Attacks against Schumann. Up and under move, and another ball goes off the front of the rim and missed. Finally, the offensive rebound by Corbin Stewart will go. And you got to say, mathematically speaking, something's got to go inside.
Yeah, Mountain Crest able to get a lot of rebounds there, offensive rebounds. Finally get one to go.
Normally that's something the Mustangs struggle with mightily, but they've been able to get it a couple times. Here is Carden with the steal against Bryce. Ball tipped around and saved, tried to bounce it off the foot, and Stewart ends up getting it into his arms around the top of the arc, and the Mustangs will reset the offense. Larson playing quarterback on the hardwood, and the attack by Carden won't go. The putback by Pugmire won't go. Larson, his attack won't go. And finally, Coach Jones of Preston says, all right, that's enough. Let's take a timeout and figure this out, because the Mustangs, dare I say, in the last 2 minutes have out-rebounded the Indians 10-1.
Yeah.
But they haven't come away with points.
They are playing very tenacious, but they just got to get their shots to go. On the shooting side, the difference between the two teams is polish. Preston's not missing their shots, really. Mountain Crest getting the opportunities. They've got to calm down and get their shots to go. They'll be in much better shape.
Well, this timeout taken by Preston, really there to calm down the defense. And I've been very impressed with Mountain Crest's ability to attack, with vigor, like unafraid, into the teeth of Preston's defense. And I think that's benefited them in the fact that they've come away with steals and offensive rebounds.
Yeah.
Pugmire's going to come on out. Passy will come in for the Mustangs as Schumann will cross half court going from right to left on your radio dial. The quick pass. Carden, back-to-back steals. He's going to go one-on-one versus Schumann. Takes some contact and goes up with the left hand and
good
hits it.
steals. Very good steals. Like you say, back-to-back.
It's almost like the Mustangs have had film knowing where that ball is going. We've had a couple instances of Mountain Crest guards coming out and stealing the ball where it's inside. Here's a good wraparound, and Stewart will cause a whistle blown, a foul on Parker Galloway. It will be ball taken out by the Indians on the near side of the court on the baseline. Bryce to inbound, looking, finds Harris, solidifies his feet. Going to hand off to Galloway, driving baseline. The wraparound, up and under, pass. Goes to the opposite side of the court, grabbed by Bryce. 24 seconds on the shot clock as Preston will reset. Harris shakes, spins inside, finds Galloway on the left. Another reverse layup goes. And there's some athleticism being shown by the bench of Preston as Schumann will set to check in. So too will Larson at the next dead ball. Martinson, sidestep, Euro around Harris. Gets the bucket back. And the Mustangs flirting with that 8-point deficit for the majority of the second quarter. They're down 27-18. I feel like I've been talking a ton. I'm sorry I haven't been able to.
No, you're fine. You're fine. And I'm impressed with Mountain Crest stealing. They have done a good job of stealing the ball.
Larson, right elbow jumper, read well and stolen and slapped away by Beckstead. Frustration foul, and there will be a whistle at midcourt. It's got to be a high arcing shot to get over the top of Beckstead, who I want to say is listed at 6'4".
Yeah.
He's a tall kid.
Yep.
Galloway's going to come out for the Indians. In comes Larson. It's Kason Bryce, the junior shooting guard, will toss it into the backcourt. It will be tracked down by Larson, and he'll lead the charge for the Indians, working his way to the right side of the court. Wrap around, inside feed, and Martinson will be called for the push from behind. So now our referee getting a few whistles in a row, trying to send the message like, all right, keep your hands off. And that's got to be something that the Mustangs have got to figure out.
Yeah,
pretty quickly.
Well, and so far, I believe Mountain Crest has 6 fouls to Preston's 0 so far this game. So
high arcing shot from Larson will not go. Great rebound by Stewart to bring it down onto the floor after the poke out. And now,
there they go. They finally got their first foul with the slap around from the back.
Preston will get the foul way in the backcourt of the Mustangs. That will be their first on Kason Bryce. 4:15 left before halftime. It feels like we've been flying through this game so far. Mustangs within striking distance, trying to close the gap here before halftime as Smith crosses the half-court line, works his way to the left, gets it inside to Passy, kick out to Muir, quick toss, up and in from the short corner.
And again, that's what they really need, is that outside game to light up in order to claw back into this game.
Cale Muir has made 2 3-point shots from that area of the court. And hopefully the Mustangs can figure it out and make that a little bit more consistent. Kai Passy trying to hold his ground. Does so as the ball is missed on the push shot by the Indians on the low block. Mountain Crest comes away with it, crossing from left to right. Smith trying to put his man on skates. Gets past him initially, skips into the lane, throws it up and inside the mid-post. And there's the Mustangs that we want. 27-23 after the attack and score by Mason Smith. Muir at the top, guarding the Indian guard, Bryce. Harris back to Bryce on the left side wing extended. Pick and roll action as Harris on the block. Tries to go through. Ball up for grabs, and we get a foul on the floor. 2 shots coming up. And it feels like Harris is playing bully ball a little bit inside.
That should have been offensive. He really put his shoulder into him. No call.
Coach Smith, usually one to try and figure out has been very quiet tonight. He's been a little bit stoic on the sideline. Has not shown a lot of emotion in this game.
No, yeah, he has not.
Sure shot up by Harris, and
see, even the basketball gods say
it wasn't a foul, and they misses the first one. Close game right now, 4-point difference, 27-23. As Harris again will go to the line. Stewart on the bench as he comes out. Pugmire will come back in, and Harris will go 1 for 2 at the line. 28-23 with 3 minutes left in the half. Here comes the signature corner press by the Indians. Cross court to Muir. Dribbling in and out of pressure. And the Mustangs have done very well to not panic a ton tonight. They've been very good. Here's Pugmire trying to bump his way inside. He'll elect to fade away. And that shot will come up short, rebounded back by the Indians. Larson to Schumann. Thought about the three. Back up to the top for Harris. He'll bury, or rather lower his head, go inside and miss the layup attempt. Long lob to Muir on the baseline. Floating off the glass and in.
Mountain Crest within 3, 25-28 with 2:26 left in the first half.
And I hate to be one of them old farts, but I am seeing that underdog, scrappy Mountain Crest mentality that Mountain Crest was known for in the early 2010s. The rebound off the long three-point miss. Carden with 3 Indians around him. He's going to go all the way to the hoop and miss the layup with the left hand.
Ooh, he had it too.
Harris running the opposite way. He's going to attack. Missed the bucket, and there was a lot of contact. Something had to be called there.
Something had to have been called there.
Harris calls for it again, hesitates, goes up and under, and that's a very crafty move by the senior. Coach Jones calls the timeout.
I think Smith got the timeout.
Oh, was it Smith?
Smith, yeah, Smith.
I saw Jones on the floor too, so I didn't see who it was.
Maybe they pointed at Mountain Crest, so.
Full timeout, and it was Mountain Crest that took it. We'll take the break. Mustangs trail by 5. The Indians trying to hold off this scrappy Mustang team. We'll be right back after this on Cache Valley Daily and on 107.7 KLZX.
Suit up, feel good. Custom tailored clothing for him and her. The Cater Shop, because how you look is the first message you deliver.
Great Basin Graphics has quality screen printing, detailed embroidery, and award-winning graphic designers. The right look, the right design, the perfect fit. Get noticed with GBG. Get your order in today for spring products. Google Great Basin Graphics for screen printing and embroidery. 966 West 400 North in Logan.
I have a deal for you. I'll turn the cable back on when you get my kitchen floor finished.
How do I do that in time to watch my team win?
Use the expert help at Castalite. For all your brick, block, rock, paver, and tile needs, Castalite.com.
Welcome back to the sports broadcast booth here in Hiram, Utah. The Mustangs and Indians in a cross-border battle. Currently, advantage held by the Indians as Muir's attempt at the half-court line almost stolen away. Now the Mustangs get past the press, and the extra pass intended for Carden across the key from Pugmire. Just one too many.
Carden should have seen. Preston has such a pretty finish on their shots.
Yeah, they do.
It's the one thing that Mountain Crest is missing right here.
32-25. Here's the lob to Passy on the far side. Carden again going underneath, and his attack won't go. Carden, so crafty to get to the bucket. All that we're missing, like you said,
it's the finish. The finish, yep. That's the biggest difference right now in this game.
Larson and Schumann trade the handoff at the top of the key, working their way to the right side. Galloway finds himself alone. Blocked. It's blocked by Pugmire. Second opportunity by Galloway as he gets it back. Carden tries to run through a couple Indians.
Come on!
Harris
that
goes into the body
offensive.
of Smith, and they'll get the bucket and the foul. 53 seconds in the half, and the Indians trying to balloon the lead out after the Mustangs were within 5. They've had back-to-back buckets and a chance to make it a three-point play at the free throw line.
Yep, Mountain Crest, they got within 3, but now falling down by 10 again.
Very quickly,
really
quick 5 points.
Yeah. And the biggest point of that,
Carden's lucky pass gets passed. Here's Pugmire with the long shot. Won't go. Muir gets the tip back into his arms and gets it up and in. So Mustangs are able to break the press. They just haven't been able to get that good look at the end of the press here.
Yeah.
Galloway, step-in jumper underneath, and it misses wide right. Almost misses everything. Mustangs rebound and run the floor with 21 seconds left on the game clock. And Coach Smith again wants to bleed this clock down to the final seconds, down 8. Smith at the top, guarded by Schumann. Switches off to Harris. Misses his opportunity, 3 seconds now. Carden launches up a 3 and is contested, won't go.
Yep, and Coach Smith wanted a foul on that. And that's interesting. What an interesting first half of the
Very
game.
interesting. If you were in for some interesting basketball, I mean, you've definitely got it here.
Yeah.
So we'll talk a little bit about what we saw. Preston goes on a little bit of a run to push the lead from 5 to 8. The Mustangs try and figure that out and come back. Although I will say, I feel the scrappiness from the Mustang side. There is verve.
There really
in
is.
their game.
And if you look at it from the Mountain Crest side, if they hit those little bunnies underneath, this is a completely different game.
Dare I say they'd be leading?
They would be leading at this point. So, that's the thing is coming out, at least on Mountain Crest side, you're like, there's things we can fix. Let's fix them. If you're looking at it from the Preston side, maybe you're like, hey, guys, you thought this was going to be an easy game. Because I don't think we've seen Preston really playing their best game.
Yeah.
And, to go off of, for example, Preston had turned it over 10 times to Mountain Crest 4.
Yeah.
That's the only really set where Mountain Crest was leading, was in turnovers. So.
Well, in an interesting game, absolutely, where we've seen a completely different lineup. And purely from a journalistic standpoint, it seems like there is a story behind why we're not seeing Parker Andrus. We're not seeing Trey Cooper, and we're not seeing Nico Dimitrikov even on the floor tonight.
No.
So that's purely just a question that we hope to be able to get answered sooner or later.
And I did see Dimitrikov came out dressed, and then he was ushered back off of the floor. So I don't know what's going on.
I have no idea.
I would love to be a fly on the wall for sure. So
no kidding. Well, we'll take the break, come back to you with our thoughts, what we've seen in this game, some stats, and then also, what Mountain Crest can do to close this 8-point gap. Truly against a very, very good Preston squad. I've really been impressed. I would count this half as definitely an overall win for the Mustangs, being this close, playing the way that they are. I'm excited to see what they've got in the second half coming up. Don't go anywhere. We'll come back for more action here in Hiram right after this. And our halftime show brought to you by Castelite. Castelite, our friends, help us out here in the Valley and proud sponsor of the Mountain Crest Mustangs. We'll be right back here on 107.7 KLZX.
Suit up, feel good. Custom tailored clothing for him and her. The Cater Shop, because how you look is the first message you deliver.
Great Basin Graphics has quality screen printing, detailed embroidery, and award-winning graphic designers. The right look, the right design, the perfect fit. Get noticed with GBG. Get your order in today for spring products. Google Great Basin Graphics for screen printing and embroidery. 966 West 400 North in Logan.
I have a deal for you. I'll turn the cable back on when you get my kitchen floor finished.
How do I do that in time to watch my team win?
Use the expert help at Castelite. For all your brick, block, rock, paver, and tile needs, Castelite.com.
The Mountain Crest Booster Club encourages you to support the sponsors that support the Mustangs. Scabelin Roofing, Pool Orthodontics, Reed's Pharmacy, Airbound Gymnastics, Blue Water Construction, Midco Landscaping, and Ridley's Market. To join the Mountain Crest Booster Club, contact the Mountain Crest Athletic Department and support the sponsors that support the Mustangs.
At Planet Fitness, you'll get energy without the judgment.
Hi, can you help me with this? This is better.
Join the judgment-free zone today for $15 a month. Planet Fitness, big fitness energy for all.
DD Auto and Salvage is going to pay you the most for junk vehicles. Get rid of your junk vehicles today. Pickup is available. DD Auto and Salvage in Logan. Call 787-1204. That's 787-1204 today. See store for details.
Searching for copiers and printers? Les Olson IT has what you need. Find reliable HP printers, award-winning Sharp copiers, and high-end Ricoh graphic systems.
Les Olson IT.
When your car isn't working right, you just need someone who can help make your life a little easier. Cache Valley Auto Care can. Hear what people are saying online.
They'll always take the time to help you understand what they're doing to your car and go above and beyond to solve your issue.
Cache Valley Auto Care.
When a client walks into the office, I want them to feel like they have a team that is full-time working for them.
We really start from the ground up, setting our goals, understanding your situation, and then building the plan to maximize that quality of life.
Visit Adams Wealth Advisors.
Find the parts and the oil you need to keep your car and equipment running its best at your locally owned Napa Auto Parts. All the best brand names. And when you need professional help, Napa can recommend a dozen Napa Car Care Centers with ASE certified technicians.
From what's happening in local political elections, to breaking news, to photo galleries and replays of the latest games. If it's happening in our community, it's on CacheValleyDaily.com and the Cache Valley Daily app. Local, relevant news on CacheValleyDaily.com.
They really can put your logo on just about anything. That's what they do at the Logo Shop. Businesses, teams, booster clubs, school organizations, call the Logo Shop and have them show you the possibilities. The Logo Shop, committed to schools, teams, and youth groups.
Insurance is exciting.
Are you kidding me? However, Lana Powell State Farm Insurance makes buying insurance a little less painful. Call 752-7639 for a quick quote.
Suit up, feel good. Custom tailored clothing for him and her. The Cater Shop, because how you look is the first message you deliver.
Great Basin Graphics has quality screen printing, detailed embroidery, and award-winning graphic designers. The right look, the right design, the perfect fit. Get noticed with GBG. Get your order in today for spring products. Google Great Basin Graphics for screen printing and embroidery. 966 West 400 North in Logan.
I have a deal for you. I'll turn the cable back on when you get my kitchen floor finished.
How do I do that in time to watch my team win?
Use the expert help at Castalite. For all your brick, block, rock, paver, and tile needs, Castalite.com.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here to the Hardwood in Hiram, Utah. The Mustangs of Mountain Crest and the Indians of Preston. Trying to show a little bit of that cross-border rivalry, and I think it's lived up to the hype a little bit here in this game so far.
It really has, yeah. It's Dimitrikov has shown up.
Yes.
We still don't know what is going on with the Mountain Crest, but I will say this. I'm actually very impressed with how the kids that started tonight, who hadn't started before, have really kept up with this Preston team.
Very. Yeah, I've been very impressed.
They have not been,
intimidated?
Intimidated, yeah. They have not been intimidated by this Preston team. And so, yeah, it's crazy night for basketball.
Crazy night for basketball. Worthy to note that we've got about a minute 40 left before the start of our third quarter, and Preston has not come out of the locker room yet. If I know Preston, head coach Tyler Jones is in there probably saying, all right, enough playing. Yeah. Let's try and get this. Let's go home. But we're hopeful that the Mustangs can come and make up this lead. They've been playing scrappy. They've been playing great. And now we do see Dimitrikov out on the floor. warming up. And I just love conspiracy theories. Like, that's just all I'm going to say.
Yeah, we're going to see. I don't know. I am going to pin down Coach.
Yeah.
And get something out of him.
That'll be good. But, I mean, just purely from the journalistic side of things, you want to know why people aren't out on the floor.
You do, yeah. And why certain, some starters or anyway. I have an update that might be curious for everybody out there.
I'm curious. You've already piqued my curiosity. You had my attention.
Beginning of the third.
You had my curiosity.
BYU was up 20-0 on the Imperial Colorado, who can do nothing wrong. So that's one of those games where everybody wins because one of them has to lose.
I think BYU was a substantial underdog in that. I don't know what the line was. But
I don't know either, but
I think BYU was the underdog in that one. So
yeah,
well, good for the Cougars.
Whatever.
We'll go watch that on replay after we get home. That and the Utah State game. Watch it online.
The Utah basketball game. Yeah, that would be awesome. Preston came out. They didn't even get to warm up.
No, they did not. There was no warm-up shots for the Indians as we get ready for the start of our third quarter. And we got a pretty good student section, even though it's holiday break.
Yeah. The football players are here.
That's good.
As always.
That's good. All right.
And on the floor is Dimitrikov. So
Dimitrikov starts the second half. Out on the floor, it's Pugmire, Dimitrikov, Larson, Smith, and Muir. So still more questions unanswered in terms of the lineup, and the first pass intended to Dimitrikov from Smith will just be off the mark and go out of bounds. So another turnover. And are they going to say that it stays with Mountain Crest?
How?
That is a great question. Because it wasn't. Was it tipped at the point of contact?
I didn't think so.
That's the only explanation that I can think of. Pugmire doesn't need to do it. He can go all the way into the back court and throws it away. That's a sophomore mistake right there.
It is.
In the most endearing way I say that. You can go into the back court and collect yourself.
Yeah.
So here's the Indians after the turnover. And maybe that was the basketball gods saying, no.
Yeah, that should have been an out. Yep.
Here's Larson fading away on the right side. It's tipped around by a couple different Mustangs and sent back to the arms of the Indians. Harris driving against Dimitrikov finds Larson on the secondary fast on the cut behind, and it won't go. The Mustangs come away with the basketball, and I guess we get a reset after 50 seconds run off in the third quarter. Muir thought about a deep three on the far side, decides to eat it instead as Larson and Muir will pass to the opposite side of the court. Now Dimitrikov will go to work on the far side block, up and under move. His shot will not go as it dances around a couple different times.
Yeah.
And
a little frustration foul there by Dimitrikov.
Got away with maybe one or two before that, and the third one you don't get away with.
Nope.
The benefit for not playing an entire half is that you get 5 fouls to use in the second half.
That's true. You've got more to give up. But don't give them up that way.
7 minutes left in the third. Preston leads 35-27. As we get a brand new Mulligan in the corner, all alone. Schumann for three, bounces it off the back iron. Good look, but no dice for the Indians.
Oh.
As we get a baby out onto the court. A runaway.
A runaway child, someone's child. Please collect your child.
Good.
And no one is collecting the child. I guess it's free kid.
Oh, wow.
And we have a winner. Somebody is...
Shout out to the referee. His athleticism to whistle and to find that toddler running out onto the court is impressive. Here's Dimitrikov going up against Harris. His pass to the far side mirror. Thought about the three, won't go. They're going to try and force feed Dimitrikov inside. He's going to bump his way up and around, and the wraparound pass to Larson. No dice, not successful. Just goes off the toe and out of bounds.
The other bad thing about not playing the first half is you're coming in a little too fresh.
Yeah, you're a little cold.
You're a little cold.
There's been a chemistry built by the Mustangs and an identity built by them in the first half, and Dimitrikov is going to have to try and adapt into that right now.
They've got to be fast.
Larson walked with it. I was going to say he took a few steps in there.
Yeah.
A little stroll in the park there for Harris. and he'll get called for the turnover. No points in the first 2 minutes of the third quarter by either team as Smith is met at the half-court line. Lobs it up to Larson. He's going to take the long jumper off the forehead, and Dimitrikov comes back, almost steals it out and away from Schumann, and the Mustangs can't get that one to go. Here's Larson bowling his way inside again, and he gets around Larson up and through with a nice little flex at the end.
Yeah. Yep, he did.
And Harris gets a pat on the back from our official that says, don't do it again.
Yeah. Oh.
I mean, he earned it. Good stuff.
He did.
37-27. Harris gets the another and one opportunity at the line. And he's going to get the chance at the free throw line to get the old-fashioned three-point play, and it will not go. Pugmire in the ballgame, skies up into the air to grab it. So the Mustangs down by 10, trying to find that identity and that scrappiness and scoring that was found in the first half. So far, not able to be found. Martinson to Muir on to the far side. Smith back up at the top, and another feed inside to Dimitrikov. They've been trying to feed him this whole time, and Dimitrikov's got to get out of the key.
Yeah, he does.
Smith has some space underneath, then to Dimitrikov, and his little bunny won't go. Ball thrown back into play. Dimitrikov
and
up
on
and
the
through.
Playing through some contact.
Little contact,
there.
no whistle, and now we get it back down to around 8, or rather, exactly
8. Yeah, but 8 again, yeah.
And I love the idea of getting Dimitrikov back into the swing of things. They've tried to go every time. Here's Martinson trying to get the...
You know who Martinson reminds me of? This is going to age me a lot.
Oh, boy.
Charles Barkley.
Charles Barkley.
He plays a lot like Charles Barkley with his strength and everything.
Timeout at the half court. Preston was moments away from the steal.
Yeah, the
Martinson
bully ball.
Does?
Yeah.
Harris.
Harris.
That's
Harris. No, that's what I meant. Harris for Preston.
Yeah, he does. I can see that.
He plays a lot like Charles Barkley did. Like more like a fullback.
Chuck.
Rings Chuck. But he does. He reminds me of the way Charles used to play. Again, that dates me quite a bit.
Huge compliment there. All right. 30-second timeout taken. Mountain Crest took it to avoid the turnover as they had trapped Smith inside the half circle. Mustangs have done a pretty decent job avoiding that pressure by the Indians so far in this game. That time they were caught in the Venus flytrap that was that press.
That press, yep. And, you know, when Mountain Crest is able to pass right out of it, they usually get a free shot down underneath.
Yep.
So it's about movement.
Muir and Martinson outside. Pugmire uses his height. Martinson for 3. Yes!
See, that's what you've got to do. Make them pay for coming out and doing that trap.
There it is. Huge three-point shot by Tatum Martinson. 39-32. 7-point difference. Harris again against Dimitrikov. Going inside. A lot of action inside, and Harris misses the shot. Goes back towards the basket, falling away, and it won't go. Tipped around and grabbed by Martinson. Tatum and the Mustangs on a dead sprint. Dribbles into pressure. Up and around Schumann. Back to Martinson. Bodies on the floor.
That shit.
And Martinson.
I don't know how that they can do that when nobody had the ball. Like, he didn't have the ball, but
Tatum Martinson,
he is fuming.
Is hot right now.
And I don't blame him. He's mad. He got literally tackled down there.
And they're going to call the jump ball. The possession arrow goes to Preston, and that kind of got spicy there for a second.
It got spicy, yeah. You got to watch. Martinson's got to not pick up a foul here. You have a tendency to do that. It's a frustration foul.
Yep.
Especially at the high school level.
Schumann gets a screen at the top from Harris, works his way around that hedge. Back up to Larson. Handoff at the top. Long 3 off the front of the rim. No good. Dimitrikov with the rebound. Gets the ball into traffic, and it will be a foul.
There, finally, from way out on top.
It was the referee that was the farthest one away that called it. And Preston doesn't like it, and Mountain Crest fans are saying, finally we get something going our way.
Finally, he called it.
All right. 39-32. Carden into the lineup for the Mustangs as the trio of guards are going to try and work it out of the press. Martinson stops before he crosses the half-court line, gets the pressure inside. Passy uses his body to clear some space as the Mustangs set up their half-court offense. Screen from Dimitrikov at the top. Pick and roll is closed out well by the Indians. They'll work their way to the opposite side and try something different with 13 seconds on the shot clock. Martinson, ball in his hands, pulls out Schumann way beyond, goes opposite of the screen, tries to go through traffic again and lost the basketball. Larson does the same thing, trying to go the opposite way, and Mountain Crest gets bailed out with back-to-back turnovers by either team.
Kind of uncharacteristic, I think, from Preston. They usually do a much better job handling the ball.
Absolutely. Carden looking for somebody, goes up for Dimitrikov. The deflection goes into his hands. Inside the half-court line, Carden, the reverse layup, and he finally gets one to go. Backdoor cut, assist from Dimitrikov, running the baseline from the far side. 39-34. Tensions start to mount a little bit as the game closes in a little bit more. Schumann out for Larson for three. A big shot won't go. Tipped around once, twice. Grabbed by the Indians, wrapping around. Schumann inside. His shot won't go. Carden not tall enough to grab it in the near side corner. Finally, Martinson able to grab it for the Mustangs. 2-on-2. Fast break. Martinson up and is blocked by Galloway. Larson comes to grab it at midcourt, bounces it up. Schumann dunks in the tomahawk jam. And the Preston side of the gym erupts into cheers. And that was a highlight play and a half.
That was.
Passy to Martinson for three to quiet the crowd. No, off the front of the rim, won't go. Galloway, his pass deflected, but gathered by Harris in front of the Preston bench. And Coach Jones says, all right, everybody take a breather.
Down. Yeah, that was a lot there in a couple minutes.
Huge highlight dunk by Kaysen Bryce, something that you would see on SportsCenter Top 10. Long three won't go, and the poke out attempt by Carden on Galloway elicits the foul. His second foul.
Wow, there's a lot of energy out here on the court tonight.
It's great.
I love it, yeah.
Arguably a game where you thought that might have been a little bit less entertaining than what we're seeing. This has been a fun one. Harris, one-on-one versus Dimitrikov. The pump move up and won't go. Rebound Mustangs. Carden on the run on the far sideline, and he is fouled by Schumann. Trying to poke that one away.
I think in that circumstance, you didn't have the numbers. It'd been best to try and pull back. And
I think the best thing that you could have got was a foul, and that's what happened.
That's what they kind of did, yeah.
Minute 26 in the third quarter. This quarter been a little bit longer than the first and second quarter.
Yeah.
Smith pumps left, goes back to the right for Carden, who penetrates in front of the free throw line and hits the jumper.
Big game. Carden's had a big game tonight.
Huge. He's played so much bigger than what he is on the court tonight. 41-36 in favor of the Indians, who have led for the majority of this game. They've been tested well by the Mustangs. Here's Harris v. Dimitrikov. This is the matchup right here, one-on-one, baseline, spin move, and an offensive foul.
That's what you really need to do, because he's very physical underneath there, and as long as you hold your ground, he's going to continue to just, hit on you.
Yeah, and Preston wants a flopping call, and there could have been a little bit of theatrics, but, ultimately, you're going in with that much steam. That is going to be an offensive foul no matter what.
Yeah.
Cross court to Passy, who thought about the three. I want Kai to hit one so bad. I really do.
That's not his shot.
You're not that guy, pal.
You're not that guy. That's not what Kai's
Prove
in
me
there
wrong,
for,
Kai.
So.
Prove me wrong. Here's Kai in the far side corner, cross-court pass to Carden, his deflected shot. Here is Larson for three! Yes!
Big shot by Larson.
Was that a three-point shot?
It was a three-point shot.
Oh, they put two on the scoreboard,
man,
so maybe it was a long two.
So.
And the referee points down the line and goes like this to Coach Smith. His toe was on the line. Kevin Durant toe, 41-38. Schumann to Larson at the top, sidestepping away, throws up a prayer, won't go. And the Mustangs are within one possession as we get our way into the fourth quarter.
What a huge quarter for Mountain Crest. Huge quarter for Mountain Crest.
Crazy stuff.
Whatever Coach Smith did to light a fire under these kids who have, most of which have not started all year.
Or even had a lot of time, really.
Well, and this is the other thing, too. No matter what happens in this game, Mountain Crest is not going to face a team, I don't think, as polished and as big, height-wise, everything like that, as this Preston team. They're just not. Even with Green Canyon is super, they're very talented, but not this physical. They're not going to face another team this physical. And the fact that they're able to come in here and hold ground with Preston, I am super impressed.
It's been impressive.
Super impressed.
It's been absolutely fantastic. We'll take a breather. We might not take a breather. We're going straight into the fourth quarter.
Right into
That's
the
all right.
fourth quarter.
That's okay. I mean, it is important to highlight how scrappy and fun this team has been to watch tonight for the Mustangs.
Yes.
It's been really kind of refreshing to see them like attack and be the aggressors and say, I'm not bowing down to nobody tonight.
No.
I don't care who you are. Like,
yeah,
it's been fun.
And you know, some of Mountain Crest players that we hadn't really seen come out, like Carden.
Yep. Noah Carden's been great tonight.
He has been great.
Pugmire has played so much more aggressive and within himself. It's been a fun one. So here's the Mustangs who start off with the basketball to start the fourth quarter. This is a tight game going into the final stretch here in Hiram, 41-38. Smith on the near side angle surveys the defense. It's going to be that signature man defense by Preston. They want to get it in to Dimitrikov. Instead, they throw it right into the arms of Tripton Beckstead, who comes away with the steal. Here's the Indians. Harris so calm with the basketball.
Yeah.
Here's a float up to the top. Good attack. And the bucket.
And it's so hard to defend something like that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Schumann gets the bucket. Gets that possession or that lead up to 2. Larson crosses the timeline nonchalant from right to left. A screen at the top by Dimitrikov. Smith puts Harris on skates. The back door not open. Larson to Pugmire. Back to Carden on the near side corner. Carden dribbles into traffic. Back-to-back turnovers by the Mustangs. Lob high and through by the half-court alley-oop by the Indians.
And that's why the Indians are as good as they are. You know,
my goodness,
that was a college.
That was a college play. And you don't even see that in college.
Not that often. No.
That's a half-court alley-oop finished by Reggie Larson. Good night.
Yeah,
that's insane.
That was amazing. This is a fun game.
Absolutely,
I mean, it is a fun game. The fact that, you know, on Preston's side, that they've had some just amazing plays like that, and then on the Mountain Crest side, the fact that they've been able to battle with Preston.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, no matter what happens to the end of this game, this was a fun game. I'm gonna come out and say it was a lot more fun than I thought it was going to be. So
45-38, so a 4-point swing in Preston's favor. The lead has gone up to 7 after the alley-oop slam from half court. I mean, just the lob. I mean, literally half court, cross court. Larson slams it home.
Yeah.
And you sit there and go, are we sure we're not playing a junior college team out there? This is a Preston team that is so well polished.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah, I can't imagine anybody out there, any of the Boise teams or anybody hanging with this team at this level.
You'd think. Well, Preston's going to have to get through Pocatello in order to prove themselves halfway through. Can you imagine that? It makes me mad, and I'm not even part of it.
It makes me sick to my stomach, and I'm not even necessarily a Preston fan.
Here we go. Muir set up for 3. That one too long. Pugmire can't get that one into the body, and the frustration foul by Larson. Tough. Great setup for Muir, who got that look on the near side wing, just too long.
And he usually hits that one.
He's been hot tonight.
He's been hot. Yep.
So that was the draw up and the haymaker that Coach Smith drew up coming out of the timeout. And this is Preston's opportunity now to go ahead and maybe try and put the Mustangs to rest if they can string together some offense of their own. Here's Schumann backing down Larson, fading away. His push shot won't go on the baseline and will ricochet off and rebounded back by the Mustangs. Smith crossing the timeline, behind the back dribble. Telegraphs the pass, Galloway steals it. He's gonna go up and lay it up and in. 6-point swing coming out into the fourth quarter for the Indians. They lead by 9, 47-38. Mountain Crest trying to get something going here. They're going to try and test Dimitrikov, who battles his way, bumps inside, up and under move. Off the glass, it will be short. Flying in to try and get the rebound was Pugmire. Mountain Crest gets the offensive rebound. And we'll reset the shot clock, supposedly.
That should have reset the shot clock.
Smith lets that ball get slapped out of bounds, and it would. Our referee's going to come on over and say, hey, can we get the reset on the shot clock? Yeah, we should have
had the reset on the shot clock.
They're not going to fix it. Carden to Larson. Inside. Takes the three from the top of the arc, and it won't go. Missed.
Missed opportunity by Mountain Crest there.
Yeah. 5:20 left. Preston on a 6-0 run. Trying to put a cherry on top and put away the Mustangs, who have been, holding with a powerhouse basketball program from the state of Idaho. Step back three by Larson on the quick pass, and there it is. Challenging Pugmire to come out and get him, and that's a tall ask to come from beyond the key into the short corner. 50-38, and a quick lead by the Indians. Here's Dimitrikov, pump fake, his shot won't go. Running is the Indians off the miss. Larson is fouled by Dimitrikov, who goes into contact inside the key. And what a quick turnaround.
Yeah, it was a quick turnaround.
After that alley-oop. I mean, it's been all Indians for the last 3 minutes.
Yep. And Mountain Crest struggling to get back into this one.
Scoreless.
But let them get out to 12, then, bring it back. And,
12-point lead by Preston, 50-38. It's been a scoreless 3.5 minutes for the Mustangs into the fourth quarter. Larson to Schumann. Back to Larson inside. It will be tipped and deflected and stolen away by the Mustangs. Good read by Carden. Muir, right side wing extended. Martinson for three, trying to get something going. There it is. Martinson coming off the bench, quickly puts some points on, and it's back to single digits for the lead for the Indians.
Yep.
Harris, well beyond the arc, trying to size up his defender. Giving him space. Inside feed to Larson again. Bouncing, won't go, and two Mustangs can't grab it and bring it in.
Mountain Crest's guards and forwards, because outside of Dimitrikov and Pugmire, just not a great, they're giving up a lot of height.
They are giving up a lot of height. And the experience of Harris shows again on the floor as he gets the inbound, pumps, gets Martinson to bite, goes into contact, and one opportunity. He's just been stellar tonight.
Yeah, he has.
For the Indians. His three-point attempt, how many times have we said that tonight? How many chances has he had at three-point plays the old-fashioned way?
Yeah.
And he gets it to go. 53-41, back to a 12-point lead for the Indians, Martinson collapsed in on the short corner, bounces it into traffic, bounces off of Harris, stays on the left side of the court with the Mustangs.
And again, if Mountain Crest can quickly pass out of that triple trap, they've got free men open to get that.
Martinson has Pugmire at the top of the key, who will start the offense. Muir, long three over the top of Schumann, or Larson, and it will be saved originally by Dimitrikov, but then out of bounds. It will go in the near side corner. 3:46. Opportunity for the Mustangs to come back here, dwindling by the second as Preston slows it down. Gives it to Harris on the right side elbow. Dribbles out beyond the arc. And the ball tipped away and stolen by Martinson. Turns on the Jets, and the ball stolen back by Bryce. Ball just out in front of him, a little too far.
A little too far on that one, yep.
Coach Jones comes out and says, hey, let's stop, slow it down here a little bit. Harassed by Martinson. Bryce down the baseline. Larson penetrates, kicks to Harris, who pumps himself. Step back three and hits it. That was the only thing that was missing on the bingo sheet for Harris tonight, and he just got the three.
Yep.
A little bit of a dagger there for the Indians, as the Mustangs now trail by 15. In a game that they've really been close this entire time. Pugmire, tough shot.
It was a good-looking shot by Pugmire there.
And we go into the timeout. We'll take the break. 2:47 remaining here in this one. Mountain Crest trying to come and overcome a 13-point lead in the final minutes of the fourth quarter. We'll be back here on 107.7 KLZX, a State Farm Agent Lana Powell presentation of the Mountain Crest Mustangs on Cache Valley Daily.
Suit up, feel good. Custom tailored clothing for him and her. The Cater Shop, because how you look is the first message you deliver.
Great Basin Graphics has quality screen printing, detailed embroidery, and award-winning graphic designers. The right look, the right design, the perfect fit. Get noticed with GBG. Get your order in today for spring products. Google Great Basin Graphics for screen printing and embroidery. 966 West 400 North in Logan.
I have a deal for you. I'll turn the cable back on when you get my kitchen floor finished.
How do I do that in time to watch my team win?
Use the expert help at Castalite. For all your brick, block, rock, paver, and tile needs, Castalite.com.
Back out of the timeout here, Mountain Crest late coming out of the break. Coach Smith drawing up something on the board. We might see a quick setup, probably for either Martinson for three, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Coming in the next offensive break. Preston's going to try and break the Mountain Crest press, and they do so fairly easily as they cross the line. Harris lobbing it up to Bryce, and that is an experienced team breaking the press right
really
there.
Is,
that was a calm, collected team, not panicking, finding the open person, capitalizing with a alley-oop.
They've done it 100 times.
Backdoor cut for Smith, and he is fouled.
The double clutch.
The double clutch. I'm going to lose my mind.
You need to go take him by the hand and say, just shoot the ball. Just shoot. Don't double clutch it. Just shoot the ball. Or you're going to kill me.
I am going to go to an early grave. Mason Smith, if you double clutch the ball one more time. I love him to death.
I do. His
free throws up and good.
He's really good at handling the ball.
Oh, he's fantastic.
Which is, running the offense, he's great at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what? He would probably say, Cody, you don't know what the flip you're talking about.
Yeah.
When did I double clutch varsity? For this.
When did you start varsity?
Exactly. We'll call you for defense when we're ready. Second shot rims out, and it will be saved by Preston, thrown out of bounds. It'll stay with the Mustangs as wrapping around and trying to get the athletic save as Harris falling out of the baseline. 58-44, it's a 14-point lead. Some substitutions as Larson comes out for the Mustangs. And Muir will come in. It's a little defense for offense there. Muir, quick pass to Pugmire on the Angles far side. Smith, near. Looks, hesitates, finds Dimitrikov inside the key. Back out for Martinson for three. Yes. And there's a foul on the floor on the shot.
So
we're going to find out who it was, and it will be Dimitrikov with the push.
After the shot.
After the shot. So the points count, I believe.
The points count, yes, because he said the points do count.
Yeah, but it was a foul on the rebound, the attempted rebound that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah.
Because it was nothing but net for Tate Martinson, who brings it back to 11 with under 2 minutes remaining here. Galloway and Schumann Work into the front court. Work the baseline. Galloway back out to Harris. He wants another three, and his shot will go off the front of the iron. Rebounded back by the Mustangs. Smith will go stop. Take his shot on the pump stop.
Oh, he's out of bounds.
And a live grenade dive by Bronson Smith for Preston. Will end up in a turnover for the Indians. Mountain Crest will get it back. 97 seconds, 11 points is a tall order, and you got to hit a three pretty quickly here if you want to do it. Smith to inbound on the near side of the basket. Going to run out of time. Finds Pugmire. Now to Martinson. Drives inside the key. Goes with the right hand, and he will travel with the basketball. Turnover on the Mustangs.
Again, they've got Mountain Crest chiseled it back down to within
11.
I had to do math in my head, and it took me a second. I'm sorry.
90 seconds left in the ball game here. Schumann will calm and collect, go across the half-court line, and there will be a timeout as Coach Josh Blaisdell says he saw something on the court for the Preston Indians. There was a foreign object that got picked up.
Foreign object. It's not wrestling. So those are not allowed.
No foreign objects?
No foreign objects.
Toss in from Schumann to Larson, who, probably had one of my favorite basketball plays at the high school level that I've seen on the half-court throw down alley-oop.
Yeah, throw down the alley-oop. That was pretty impressive.
It was. Ball gets deflected out of bounds to the baseline. Preston will retain it with 17 seconds on the shot clock, 1:15 on the game clock remaining in regulation. Larson, step back versus Dimitrikov on the right side elbow. Won't go. Long rebound taken back by the Indians. And then a real deep breather and a reset of the shot clock. And the Mustangs trying to sit back in their man defense and try and get something attacking. Larson, another alley-oop, and the right-hand tomahawk alley-oop won't go for Larson again.
It's close. Just didn't quite get them.
Larson for three for the Mustangs, then it rims out, no good. Preston rebounding it, running the floor. Bryce skipping his way inside. Galloway pumps, and the Indians are content to bleed some more clock off. And this is probably going to do it for us here in Hiram with 25 seconds left. And we'll talk a little bit more about what we saw and what we really liked about this game for the Mustangs. Make no mistake about it, this is a polished and state championship caliber contender team in Preston in Idaho. And for the Mustangs, I felt like we found a little bit of an identity.
I think so too. Yeah, I really liked it.
Shot clock violation goes off with 6 seconds left. Preston doesn't want to shoot. A very, gentleman thing to do.
Yeah. Yep.
Gets the ball back to the Mustangs as it's scooped up by Smith at half court. Give it back to Martinson, who will launch the 30-foot three-point shot. Won't go, and the buzzer sounds. The final score, 58-47 in favor of the Preston Indians, who extend their winning streak against the Mustangs to 8-0 on the basketball hardwood. And we'll go ahead and talk a little bit more about our player of the game, what we liked from the Mustangs in the postgame show, brought to you in part by Adams Wealth Advisors here on 107.7 KLZX, sending on CashValleyDaily.com. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Suit up, feel good. Custom tailored clothing for him and her. The Cater Shop, because how you look is the first message you deliver.
Great Basin Graphics has quality screen printing, detailed embroidery, and award-winning graphic designers. The right look, the right design, the perfect fit. Get noticed with GBG. Get your order in today for spring products. Google Great Basin Graphics for screen printing and embroidery. 966 West 400 North in Logan.
I have a deal for you. I'll turn the cable back on when you get my kitchen floor finished.
How do I do that in time to watch my team win?
Use the expert help at Castalite. For all your brick, block, rock, paver, and tile needs, Castalite.com.
The Mountain Crest Booster Club encourages you to support the sponsors that support the Mustangs. Scabelin Roofing, Pool Orthodontics, Reed's Pharmacy, Airbound Gymnastics, Blue Water Construction, Midco Landscaping, and Ridley's Market. To join the Mountain Crest Booster Club, contact the Mountain Crest Athletic Department and support the sponsors that support the Mustangs.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here to the post-game show brought to you by Adams Wealth Advisors. Quality advisors for your financial means. Go ahead and give them a call and talk to them a little bit about what your money can do for you. Final score here in Hiram, the Mustangs fall to the Preston Indians, 58-47, in a game that, although a loss, felt like a win in a lot of ways for the Mustangs, and we'll tell you why. The first of which being that we went into this hoping that we could find some type of identity, and it felt like we did.
Yeah.
It felt like there was Mountain Crest, verve in play today against a very good Preston team, and it gives you hope for, region play moving forward and everything after this point. Absolutely.
Right, it does. We were kind of on our heels coming out because only Smith was the only starter that started the game that had started or even had significant time to come out, and they really played well together. And then you had Muir and Larson that also came out and played
very well.
Because, if a lot of times, especially at the high school level, you look at success in points, and that's not what everybody's there for. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. For example, Smith is there to run the offense, but the two that really stood out that we were kind of talking about was Pugmire and Carden, who come out.
Yeah.
Pugmire looked a lot more physical, a lot more polished. He had one of his better games.
I would agree.
And Carden, who really has not had any significance playing time.
No, very sporadic playing time.
He played when they were beating Ogden by quite a bit. He came in.
Right.
But he came into this game and kind of had that spark.
Yep.
And that cut to the basket they really needed, and that speed. And so I think that for that reason, we're going to give Carden Player of the Game for Mountain Crest.
Yep. And it was a toss-up between him and Pugmire. They could play. They could have co.
They could have.
They could have definitely shared that co-award tonight. But it was really impressive to see new faces come out. We saw in very limited time Corbin Stewart, the junior forward, who we have not seen play varsity time at all up until this point in the season, really, come out and really hold suit against an all-state lineup, really, in Preston. And as much as we compliment Preston and what they've been able to do, I'm really genuinely impressed with Mountain Crest's ability to try and find an identity, fight back, find new avenues to score, do something a little bit different tonight. And it was really fun to watch.
It was.
And it was really cool.
And there were several times that Mountain Crest carved their way back into this game. And it ended with 11. I think it only got out to 15. And you're like, well, that's really not bad versus this Preston team.
Yeah, now I just want to go ahead and put some context to this. The Preston Indian teams, this Preston Indian team, I mean, it's common to see 63-28 on December 7th against a pretty good Burley squad. 62-34 against Minico. 90-52 against Blackfoot. 69-37 against Spring Creek. 73-45. Like this Preston team has been blowing out
just
competition in the state of Idaho. Like just absolutely crazy. So I'll have you go ahead and talk to us a little bit about a little bit more about what you like and what Mountain Crest can expect moving forward as I pull up our schedule for the rest of what we're going to be seeing for the next couple of weeks here.
So I think the biggest thing, at least of what I saw, is the little shots that they missed. And that just comes with a little bit more confidence, a little bit more, practice on that. And really, honestly, that was the only difference in this game. Mountain Crest had a lot of shots that they should have made down underneath. And if they had made those, it's possible they could have won this game. So again, and it's part of the thing where At the high school level, you take the talent that you have and you have to tweak your game to the talent that you have. You know, at the college level, at, you know, whatever level, you can say, this is my game. We're going to recruit the kids so that we can play our game.
Right. At
the high school level, you have to say, well, this is my talent. This is what they can do well. This is what they can. You do the same thing with football. You know what I mean?
Right.
If you have a quarterback that can't throw the ball, you're not going to spread it. You've got to start running the ball. So again, and Mountain Crest is figuring that out right now. Coach Smith is figuring that out right now, because this is a very unique team. It does have skills. It does have, you know, a lot going for it, but it's not typical. You know, it's not big men. It's not, you know, those kind of things.
Right.
So I just really like the way they came out and scrapped tonight.
I really like it too. I will echo that sentiment. For the Mountain Crest Mustangs moving forward, the next 2 games, Friday the 3rd of January at Star Valley, and then the following day right afterwards on Saturday the 4th at Westfield. So we'll keep you updated as to those games moving forward. We appreciate your time. On behalf of all of us here at 107.7 KLZX and CashValleyDaily.com, I am Cody Olson. That is my partner, John Olson, Coach John Olson in the booth. We say thank you so very much for joining us tonight. We hope to see you next time as the basketball hits the hardwood. As always, go Mustangs.
Suit up, feel good. Custom tailored clothing for him and her. The Cater Shop, because how you look is the first message you deliver.